Welcome to the Blow Your Mind podcast. If you're trying to figure out who you are, where you're headed, or how to trust yourself in the middle of it all, this show is for you. I'm Erika. I grew up in a trailer park on food stamps, and I went on to build a multi-8-figure award-winning company without a safety net and without pretending it was easy. I'm now a CEO, a best-selling author, and a philanthropist. And what I've learned is this: real confidence isn't a feeling. It's self-trust built through evidence. This is a place for real conversations. You'll hear from me and occasionally my husband, Chris, as we talk honestly about real life and the standards and decisions that separate talk from results. Let's blow your mind. Today on the podcast, we're joined by Ruchi Pinniger, former hedge fund CFO turned founder and CEO of Watch Her Prosper. She has spent nearly 20 years on Wall Street and now dedicates her work to helping women-led businesses build real wealth, master their numbers, and rewrite their relationship with money. She's an international speaker, a venture capital investor, and one of the women named to be Women Leading in Finance Industry list. Ruchi, welcome to the Blow Your Mind podcast.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be here.
Me too. And you are my very first guest.
That is one of the reasons I'm extra excited to be here.
Me too.
This is so cool.
It just
my mind is blown.
But, yes. But also the fact that we're talking about money, it's such an important discussion. It's such an important mindset to have. And it's also something that our audience is both women and men, but it's female founders, it's entrepreneurs, it's business executives, it's also college students. And they're trying to figure out their life, and for us to really start changing how we think about money, how we talk about money, creating safety around saying, I want to have money. It's just so important. So I'm just so happy that you're here.
So glad. And talking about my favorite topic.
Yes.
Money. And being with one of my favorite people.
Yes.
I mean,
does
it get any better?
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so this podcast really is all about the stories that we tell ourselves and how that could shape who we are today, the stories that we believe about ourselves, and what does that mean for who we're becoming. And so when I think about what you do, one of the questions that I've had is, you've worked with so many women in business at this point. What's the most common money story that you see them carrying around?
After Wall Street and leaving and working with thousands of women, the biggest thing I hear is, I'm not good at the numbers. Sound familiar, y'all?
Mm-hmm. I've been there. The story. And when you think about that story, now think about, what is that doing to your life? What is that doing to your business? That story you're carrying with you, what's the ripple effect of that story? And how do we release it? That's one of the big things we do at Watch Her Prosper. I love that. So do you dig into, where does this story come from? Like, is it their childhood? Is it their partner? Where do you think it comes from? Yeah, well, 95 to 97% of how we show up every day is our subconscious belief. So much of it is our childhood. So we're like living video recorders from the time we're in the womb to when we're 7 or 8 years old, y'all. We don't even realize what we're carrying with us because everybody's imprinting on us. We're carrying the stories. We're watching the behaviors of the people in our homes, in our households, raising us, our parents, and maybe they're fighting about money. So now money's bad. Or maybe like some of my clients, your father told you, you'll never make it without my money, or I hope you marry rich because you're bad at math. I mean, these are the things. So those stories come with us into adulthood, and they impact our businesses, how we're charging. What if you're in corporate, are you asking for a raise? Are you valuing yourself? Wow. Yeah. Wow. Ruchi, that's a whole nother level of just really the depth of where it comes from, but also the impact on your life, regardless of what your path is. It's so true. It's so true. So for people that listen, like I would say to you, what's the earliest memory you have of money? Mm-hmm. Because that's something, when you actually like quiet your mind and you ask yourself that, you reflect on something, and now think about, what is that something and how has that carried forward with you? And then, we'll talk more, I'm sure, about like, what do you now want to do with that knowledge so that you can let go of it.
Oh my gosh. So I talk about this too, where I think on my last episode, I said something of like, you can go to a pity party, but like, don't overstay your welcome. And
I love that.
For me, I stopped asking myself, like, why do I feel this way? And I started really asking, what do I do about it? And so I've heard you. So Ruchi is on the news, on stages, on panels. You are everywhere, as you should be, because this is such an important conversation. But I've heard you say that you cannot outperform a poor money mindset. What does a poor money mindset actually sound like in someone's head? Is it the same thoughts of what you heard when you were a child? Like how you were explaining that?
It definitely could be. And by the way, I do love stats, but I love stories too. I think stats kind of paint the picture though. So 60,000 thoughts per day on average, 80% are negative, okay? You don't even realize what you're carrying with you, whether you're saying it out loud or it's in there. It's like, it's in there working its way through. I want to start with saying when I started Watch Her Prosper many years ago, I thought what I was going to be doing was helping women with their finances. Like literally, let's plan your cash flow so that you have money to pay yourself. Let's do your bookkeeping so we can have really great numbers to plan. Let's get you ready for tax time so you don't go on extension and have that feeling of anxiety and stress every April that you're behind. And we do all that. But here's the thing. What I started to see was we would put all those beautiful, practical, tactical tips in place, but there was still something missing. And that's why I started to pay attention to the money mindset and the neuroscience behind our thinking. Because what's happening is we're undervaluing ourselves by charging what we think we're worth or asking for that from our employers versus what we're actually bringing to the table. So without doing both the practical and tactical work, that's the action. That's like you could say the male energy side of it. If if we want to go there, we can. And the other side is the feminine side, the receivership, the allowing support, the digging into these beliefs. And so both of those combined is actually how you become profitable and prosperous, because we can have both.
Oh my gosh. And I think both energies are so important for both. I think men in having some of that femininity added and receiving and asking for help, but also for women harnessing some of that masculine energy to be able to say like, I'm not just bad at numbers. I don't know what I'm doing. Let me talk to my husband. I know my numbers. I know my worth. And then being able to communicate it with intention around like, here is the value that I bring. And so this is what you would value that at.
Absolutely.
Money.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. It's the Blow Your Mind podcast. One question I have for you is, as you help your clients go down this journey with money and they actually start to look at their real numbers, what is that moment, that mind blown moment that happens? Like, what does she suddenly see that she couldn't before?
Okay. This is so good. What she sees is like literally, think about the shade is here and the fog has now lifted. Like I have heard so many times in working with our clients and other women, we actually have this thing in my company that I've created called Your Prosperous Life Number. So I have a calculator, Your Prosperous Life Calculator. I'm happy to share it with all of you. But it's literally like, what is it that you need to live your most prosperous life? And many of us don't even stop to really think about that. We put so many limitations on ourselves and we just are going so that we can make a revenue number, get to a goal, get a profit number. But we're just like taking money in and spending it and then going along. But actually, if you just pause and step back and sort of like allow yourself to dream and to think about, what do I want to create for my life? How do I want to live? What do I want to save for? What do I want to add into my life to add ease? Like maybe you want to have a housekeeper. Maybe you want to have a pet, which, I mean, those cost money, but they add joy and they add ease. Maybe you want to save for a home or like a big vacation for beautiful memories with your family every year and you haven't gone. So really allowing you to step back and kind of pop in all the numbers. What's coming into your home? What's going out? And now where are some areas that we can start to save for? What are some additional expenses we want to have? And then what happens? Are we negative or are we positive? And if we're negative, where we want to make some changes and choices. And if we're positive, amazing. And now you've got this leftover. How do we want to use it? Do we want to invest more? Do we want to save more? You just create that freedom and allow yourself to dream is the big thing here that I want everyone to take away, because we don't do that.
Yeah. I do think as we get older, we stop forgetting to dream. And
Yeah.
even as I hear you talk, I'm reminded like when I was in my 20s and you're just like doing the things and you're putting it on the credit card and you're hoping for the best, right?
Yes.
But sometimes it doesn't go away, even as you have your own business, or, you know, for college students who are listening in, of like, how do you start to get into the right mindset as you go into your careers, or you're going to start your own business, or even executives. You know, when I was an executive at pharmaceutical companies, you're set in your ways of what you think you have or do, but to actually pause and take a beat and dream about what could be different, but also like, I think that so much of what we're talking about is like avoidance around money.
Yes.
And so what does a healthy, sustainable system for checking on your money actually look like? Like, is it a weekly thing, a monthly thing? And does that differ for entrepreneurs versus a business executive versus a college student? Or are there just like basic things of what does a healthy system look like?
Yeah, a healthy system, I call it money rituals. So I have these
I
three.
love that.
Yeah,
Money
money rituals. Yes, it just sounds, I don't know.
It feels
just sounds,
good.
Yeah, right? So first of all, yes, like just look at our money. And for those of you who kind of are like judging yourself right now, and I'm behind and I don't like to do this and I don't know what I'm doing, what if you just start thinking about your relationship with money as a relationship, and start with flirting, right? Like, what would you do if you're flirting? Maybe you just like open up your bank account, you know, log in and look at what's coming in and out, get a little bit more familiar, look at your credit cards and just see like what's going out. Am I using these things? Just be curious. Go in curious.
That's such a good one, because even the curiosity, oh my gosh, like I told our listeners about this horrible Peloton ride that I had where I ended up like breaking my ankle. It was a thing. But I ended up getting rid of it. Now I do strength training. I'm in my 40s. Like, this is what I need. But I did not know that the monthly Peloton fee for 2 years, Ruchi.
Yeah.
Hundreds of dollars.
Oh, I know.
They could have bought me
Thousands.
new shoes, you know?
Thousands. This is what we do with clients. Like, I'm not going to be the person who's going to try and limit your joy and limit the things that you want. I actually want you to live how you want to live. I want you to have truly everything you desire, and you deserve to have it. So I'm going to work with you to say, well, what are the things, like you just said, what are the things that I'm not really using, that I'm still paying for, that I don't really need, that aren't adding any value to my life? Let's just cut those out. That's like the low-hanging fruit, as people say, right?
Yeah.
And so let's start with that. I mean, no joke, in one session with a client, we've saved thousands of dollars because we do that. You know, we're in the numbers and we're like, let's look at this. Let's do our check-in.
That's a mind-blowing moment. Oh my gosh.
This is what we do. Yeah. So, start with that. Start with the looking at the numbers, Money Mondays, Finance Fridays. Put 15 minutes on your calendar. Just start to get comfortable. The other thing is money conversations. Think about your conversation with, whether it's your spouse, your boss, your business partner, yourself, your financial advisor. Have the conversations, because without the conversations, you're not allowing yourself to get aligned on your plans, to really think about your future, that dream life, that prosperous life. And then really ask yourself, like, what is me avoiding this money conversation because I'm uncomfortable? What is it costing me? What is the impact of that? That's a real big thing for people to think about.
It's so good. It's so good. And I think for anyone listening, I know before I got our wealth manager, just personally, but also even just in my business, I was so structured about it. Like, we had meetings every month. We look at our budgets. We look at our forecasting. We're doing all of the things. And I treated my business very different than I did my personal life. And now when I think about like building a routine that doesn't fall apart the minute that life gets hard, or it gets busy, or you're in a busy season and things get stressful, I heard you say, like, put 15 minutes on your calendar.
Yeah.
Like, structure it in so that you're doing it.
Yes.
Are there any other accountability or hiring like a business like yours?
Yeah.
Like, so that someone's having you do that with them?
Of course. I mean, with our clients, here's the big thing for those of you. Of course, I would love for you to call Watch Her Prosper to hire us. I mean, of course, I'm here. But whoever you hire, whoever you outsource your numbers to, I want you to make sure, first of all, that you trust them, like in your instinct. You might not know, because you might think, I don't know the numbers, but in your instinct, in your gut, like if there's something off, if they make you feel bad, if they're judging you, if they're telling you, don't go get your nails done, don't get your massages. You know, I understand if you're in like excess debt and it's like things are really dire, they might, but are they saying it in a loving way also, right? Like, even if it is those difficult things and they're really suggesting you cut those out temporarily while you get things in order, how are they talking to you? Are they respecting you? Because if you're paying anyone, they should be respecting you, okay? Yes. I mean, if they're talking down to you and they don't have time for you, there's a problem. So even with our clients that we work with, yes, you're deferring to us because we are experts, but we're meeting with you regularly and we're walking you through the numbers and we're answering your questions and we're planning with you and we're making sure you feel confident, like you understand, and creating a safe, judgment-free space. So whomever you are working with, ensure that it feels good to you to work with them.
I'm just like, I hope everyone, whether you're in your car, in the shower, getting ready, is like saying amen.
Yeah.
Like, can we cut out the shame in money? It shouldn't feel that way.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So, Ruchi, we've been talking about your clients. Part of the Blow Your Mind podcast is getting vulnerable and talking about ourselves.
Okay.
And so one of the things that I wanted to ask you, you know, you see this in other women every day. You see this in your clients. Was there a version of this story you were carrying yourself? Like, take us back to when you were on Wall Street.
Yeah. Okay, so you said something about our 20s. We're going and we're buying. We hope it works out. It actually made me think about something in myself. So just thinking about myself growing up here, you know, being born in another country. My parents came here as immigrants. We lost our dad really early. So back then, too, coming in as an immigrant, a single mom, my mom raised us and, you know, did beautiful work, did her best. And one of the things I remember were all my classmates, all my friends with these designer things. And I already felt really different. Like, I had like buck teeth and short hair. I feel much better now. But, you know, I didn't feel good. I didn't feel like I fit in. And I remember seeing all those designer things that we didn't really have the money for. And I thought, oh, like having all those things makes you like pretty, makes you popular, makes you feel like you have a really happy life. And guess what? I now know that's not true, but back then I really carried that belief. So fast forward, I'm on Wall Street, I'm making money. I finally am like, I made it, financial success. And I bought myself a Prada bag. Okay. And I thought, okay.
I'm sure she was beautiful.
It was beautiful at the time. It's not that much in style now, but it was the nylon one. And yeah, I had the dopamine hit. I had the pretty bag on my shoulder. But guess what? Nothing changed. And that was when I realized prosperity is an inside job. And that's why I do this work. So again, doing the practical, tactical, but also working with you to really look at your relationship with money and your relationship with yourself, because are you happy inside? Are you feeling whole? You know, that's the thing, the prosperity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Where it's the things will not make you happy. The money will not make you happy.
Correct.
It is
Yeah.
the work on you.
The work
Those 60,000
on you.
thoughts that you talked about that were negative.
Yeah. I have a method. Do we have time?
I would love to. Yes.
So I have my trademarked RIR method. So if we are thinking about those thoughts, so let's say, recognize, interrupt, reframe. So when you're noticing that you're having a negative thought, and it could be, I'm not good at the numbers, or there's so much debt, there's never enough to pay the bills, let's say, and you recognize it, you interrupt it, you just take a pause, and then you reframe it. Like, what is the reality that you are calling in? You know, something like, I'm so grateful for my abundance, there's always enough to pay the bills. I'm so grateful for my abundance, there's always enough to pay the bills. What does that actually feel like in your body? Because we can't just do this in our mind, it has to be in our body too. What does it feel like to have all the money flow in easily, that there's always enough to pay the bills? You feel really abundant, you feel free, you feel at ease, right? Like whatever, fill in the blank, all of you listening, or put in your own story and reframe it with something. It could be, I'm so tired, I'm so overwhelmed, there's never enough time. Because this RIR can be used for anything, and it could be just, there's always enough time to do everything I want to do. I am time. You know, so it could be something like that. So again, just recognize, interrupt, reframe, feel in your body. And when you start to feel that way, that's actually how you start to call in all the things that you want. It starts to attract to you.
Yes, so that you even come from a place of abundance versus a place of survival.
Yeah.
That was so calming listening to you
Yes.
go through yours.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so, this is actually perfect because in every episode we have a mini mind blown moment.
Okay.
So in your work, like what does it look like when a woman blows her own mind about money? And like when did you blow your own mind? Like not the resume version, but like the real
one.
Yeah.
I don't talk about the real one a lot. So for me, actually my son just sort of like started opening up about a journey he's been on, and now I am free to share with all of you. So this is actually the first time I'm publicly talking about this. My son, about 2.5 years ago, it was benign. It was a brain tumor. It came out of nowhere, literally overnight. Our life changed. And it, of course, like those of you, no matter what, any loved one, but those of you that are parents know, like as your child, like, wow. I mean, it's heavy. And so from that moment on, our life changed. And that year, despite the fact that I lost both of my parents by the time I was 15, the year following his brain surgery was the hardest year of my life. And to watch what he went through. But now I get to see how he thrived. But that year, I was able to keep my business going. I had my team like supporting. I, still kind of the revenue was pretty steady, actually. That's mind-blowing. And I'm here thriving, and he's thriving. He actually just did a TEDx talk about his survival and about what he went through, and about how he's definitely my son, and, about how he knows that everything he went through was for a reason. Like he gets that, like we're all on this path. He talked about gratitude. He talked about kindness. He talked about empathy. And I'm just so proud of him. So I'm mind blown over him. And I'm also mind blown that I'm still here and surviving after all that we've gone through.
Wow. I just want to give you a hug. I'm like, it's so much. And it's such a clear testament of how much you believe the things that you are saying to your clients, and also what you've said today. Like you clearly have had systems in place, talked about your money, like be able to step away when you needed to be there for him, for revenue to stay where it needed to stay.
Yes.
For a year-long journey. I mean, Ruchi, that's incredible. And so I would just say that's probably something else that I would say is you're looking for. If this conversation is sparked for you, like I want to find someone to help me get my money mindset in the right place. It's not just your gut of like how you feel about them, but have they done it themselves? Have they proved it themselves?
Yes.
Because that's who you want to take advice from.
That's right. You always, and like in my 3 pillars of redefining prosperity, I taught, who are you spending your time with? You want to be spending the time with the people that you want to be like. Who's your kind of like go-to people in your life, in your work, etc.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. All right. Wow. Blew my mind.
Yay! I accomplished something today.
You did. You did. The other thing that we do on our podcast is we end it with a challenge or a question to consider or something for our listeners. We drop an episode every week, and so they have the next 7 days. What's one thing anyone listening today can do this week to start rewriting the story that they have been telling themselves about money?
There's 2 things. I want to just, first of all, just allow you to recognize if there's judgment, allow you to recognize if you're judging yourself and if you're saying I'm behind, and I want you to know you're not behind. If you're here, you're exactly where you're meant to be. So that's number 1, okay? And I want you to feel that for whatever you're going through, whether it's money or something else. Like you are love, you are trust, you are whole, like however you are. Oh my gosh, I don't usually get emotional, but I felt that so deep.
I did too.
Okay. And then I want you to, can I ask them to download something? Because I think it'll really help them. And we didn't talk about it, but go to yourprosperouslife.com, download that calculator, and like give yourself the space, set an hour on your calendar, and like pull up a blanket or sit up on the couch, get cozy, put a candle on, and just like close your eyes and allow yourself to dream, like the next level version of you. Where do you live? Who are you spending your time with? What are you doing for work? What are you doing for joy? What are you doing about your relationship with money? And then I want you to fill out that calculator. I want you to think about how you want to feel every day and put in your numbers, like just averages. Don't overthink it. You don't have to be a perfectionista. Okay, put in some numbers. And then think about, what do you want to add to your life? What do you want to save for? Do you want to start investing? And drop in the numbers and see where you land. And that's where you can start taking action.
Ruchi, that was so actionable and something that it's tangible. Like, they can really do it.
Yeah.
And I just want to thank you so much for being here, for opening up. I felt that too. I know. I want to thank you for what you're doing for women in business. And so if you're a woman listening today and you're ready to redefine prosperity, Ruchi has this powerful free tool that is available to you. And so we're going to be linking that into the show notes. It's the Your Prosperous Life Calculator. You can visit yourprosperouslife.com to start mapping out what real prosperity can truly look like for you. And if you need a little help, my girl Ruchi can help you do that. And so follow Ruchi on Instagram at Watch Her Prosper to learn more about her work. And Ruchi, thank you again so much. For everyone at home, wherever you are, thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to share this important work with others. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for listening to the Blow Your Mind podcast. If something you heard today stayed with you, that's your cue. Apply one idea. Keep one promise to yourself this week, because that's how you blow your mind. If this helped you build proof, shift your identity, or have an aha moment, share your receipts on Instagram and tag me at Erika_Sinner. Leave a review wherever you're listening so more people can find this work and blow their minds too. I'll see you next time.